Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video, I am going to be giving you my match reaction for the Aston Villa Manchester United game. So yesterday night it ended Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 3 at Villa Park. We have now extended our unbeaten run to 17 in all competitions, and we are now just 2 points behind Chelsea and only 1 point behind Leicester. By the way, we have become the first team in Premier League history to win 4 consecutive matches by 3 or more goals. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went with the exact same team yet again. He's done that now for 4 games in a row. Now, let's delve into the goals. So, the first goal came from Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, it was a penalty. There was a lot of controversy regarding the penalty because there's a lot of people saying that it wasn't a penalty and it should have been overturned by VAR. I heard that, Bruno Fernandes had actually, kicked, is it Ezri Konsa? So a lot of people are saying the penalty shouldn't have been given. But anyway, the penalty was given and Bruno Fernandes had took the penalty away and that was 1-0. That's Bruno Fernandes' 7th goal for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, don't forget, got 2 assists against Bournemouth and he also scored against Bournemouth. He also scored twice against Brighton, so he is in scintillating form. We got Bruno Fernandes in January from Sporting Lisbon for £65 million. The deal was worth £65 million and he did sign, was it, a 5.5-year deal. Bruno Fernandes has definitely made the difference in the team. He didn't only score from the penalty spot, he also got an assist for Paul Pogba's third. Now, the second goal was from Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood again enjoyed an exceptional game. It was Anthony Martial that had got the assist for Mason Greenwood. It was a lovely strike, by the way, from Mason Greenwood. That's now Mason Greenwood's 16th goal for Manchester United in all competitions this season. Don't forget Mason Greenwood also scored twice in the Bournemouth game. He also scored in the Brighton game. And Solskjaer knows now that Mason Greenwood is undroppable and he is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Solskjaer did say recently that Mason Greenwood is ready to play for England at senior level, and he said he's a much better finisher than Wayne Rooney was at the same age. But, he looks very, very effective on that right-hand side. So Mason Greenwood had scored the second goal, and the third goal came in the second half from Paul Pogba, like I mentioned. That's Paul Pogba's first goal for Manchester United since April 2019. And it was a lovely goal as well, and I think it came from the corner. Like I said, Bruno Fernandes had got the assist. So it was good to see Paul Pogba get his name on the score sheet. And I think since the resumption of the season, Paul Pogba has made a fantastic impact. He really, really has. Like I said earlier on in the season, I didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because he was out with injury. Now, Paul Pogba, I think, will be staying at Manchester United for next season, like he updated you yesterday. Fabrizio Romano has revealed that Man United have been in negotiations with Mino Raiola, Pogba's agent, over extending Paul Pogba's contract at the football club. As it stands at the moment, Pogba has got just under a year left on his contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Solskjaer wants Paul Pogba to commit his long-term future in Man United. Of course, Paul Pogba recently spoke about how, we can become a top team again, but he's enjoying his football now at Manchester United because he knows that we have improved so much. At one point, it was looking very imminent that Paul Pogba was going to be leaving the football club because last summer, Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with him, and Paul Pogba did say last summer he was seeking for a new challenge, and he publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the club. There was stories about Paul Pogba going back to Juventus. Paul probably did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus, and Barcelona and PSG have been in for him in the past. But he's in really, really good form. And this is probably the best I've seen of him as a Manchester United player. He also did well in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. But his combination with Bruno Fernandes has just been absolutely sublime. And that midfield partnership between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes is definitely the best midfield partnership in the Premier League. And all of that. So yeah, there were the goals. But I think we dominated the vast majority of the game. In the first 15-20 minutes, we was on the back foot a little bit. Villa started the game quite brightly. They had a couple of decent chances. I think Jack Grealish had a chance, didn't he? Also, too, Aston Villa hit the post. David De Gea literally had nothing. He had nothing much to do in the game. It was good to see, David De Gea overtake Peter Schmeichel on appearances. Yesterday it was David De Gea's 399th appearance for the football club. So he's now nearly made 400 appearances for us in all competitions. I don't think David De Gea did too bad in goal. Solskjaer did say that David De Gea has been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years. This has been David De Gea's 9th season at the club. He's now approaching his 10th year at Manchester United. And I think analysing it, David De Gea has had a good 7 years out of the 9 years he's been here, because let's be honest, he has been a liability in the last couple of years, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. Obviously, should have kept out Junior Stanislas's goal in the 5-2 win against Bournemouth. Should have saved Steven Bergwijn's shot against Tottenham and all of that. But I thought he was okay yesterday night. But David De Gea is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, reflecting on what he's achieved at the club. Obviously, he's won everything here domestically. He's also won individual awards, reflecting on his good run of performances. But definitely, we know for the remainder of this season that David De Gea is going to remain our number one goalkeeper. For next season, he's probably going to remain our number one goalkeeper as well. So he didn't do too bad in goal. Wan-Bissaka. Now, I don't think he had a bad game. I thought he was very, very good on that right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka, I thought he nullified any threat that Aston Villa brought on. And I thought, he did very, very well, did Wan-Bissaka. And I think Wan-Bissaka's enjoyed an exceptional first season for us. Of course, we got him last summer from Crystal Palace for around £45 million. Lindelof at the back, I don't think he had a bad game. Made some good clearances. Looked very composed at the back, did Victor Lindelof. This has now been Victor Lindelof's 3rd season at Manchester United. Don't forget, he was a doubt prior to the game because he'd sustained a back injury in our 5-2 win against Bournemouth. There was talk saying that Eric Bailly was going to play ahead of him, but it did not happen. Lindelof passed fit. But he didn't have a bad game, let's be honest. We did pay £30 million in from Benfica back in 2017. But a lot of aspects of Lindelof's game have really, really improved. Harry Maguire, I don't think he had a bad game. I thought he made some good headed clearances, made a couple of vital interceptions for us. So I don't think Maguire was too bad at the back. Luke Shaw, I thought he had a pretty decent game. Exchanged passes well, with likes of Rashford and Anthony Martial. Showed some good attacking intent, did Luke Shaw. So I don't think, he was so bad. Luke Shaw, of course, is our first choice left back, and he's going to remain our first choice left back for the remainder of this season. Could even remain our first choice left back for next season. Don't forget, Luke Shaw missed the first part of the season with injury, and he sustained quite a few injuries as a Man United player. Nemanja Matic, I don't think he was the best player. I don't think he was good in the first 15-20 minutes. Looked very, very exposed, in my opinion, did Nemanja Matic, when Villa were counter-attacking. But as the game went on, I thought Matic grew into the game. He regained possession well a few times. His passing ability was quite good. So he didn't have much of a bad game. Rashford, I thought he was a bit quiet yesterday. he was a bit quiet, was Marcus Rashford. Don't forget he had a goal disallowed, did Rashford. I think he also had a chance in the game. Anwan Bissaka, I forgot to mention, he actually missed a sitter as well in the second half. So actually, Anwan Bissaka, should have got his name on the score sheet for us. Got his name on the score sheet. Should have got his name on the score sheet. Anthony Martial, don't forget, he hit the crossbar in the game. So Martial should have got his name on the score sheet. I don't think Anthony Martial, had a bad game either. Martial's done very, very well this season under Solskjaer. I think he's got around, 20 goals this season. Don't forget, this season Anthony Martial has been playing in that number 9 role. And to be honest with you, he looks very, very effective in that central position. So there was some good performers. There was also, some bad performers as well. But I thought a lot of the, team, did actually, very, very well. The substitutions we brought on, of course, was Daniel James. He came on. Odin Igalo came on. McTominay came on. Fred came on. Fred came on in the game. So they're the substitutions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had brought on. And Williams also came on in the game as well. We did dominate the possession. I think we created around 14 chances in the game. But I think prior to the first 20 minutes, we totally dominated that game. And our good record against Aston Villa continues. We're now unbeaten in our last 21 away games against Aston Villa. Like I said, the last time we lost at Villa Park was back in 1995. And that was, 25 years ago now. 25 years ago. And we've only lost once to Aston Villa in our last 40-odd games against them. And that defeat came back in 2010 when we lost 1-0 at Old Trafford. I think Gabia Agbonahal had scored. I think now anyway, Villa are going to get relegated. They are going to get relegated at Aston Villa. And, they will be very, very disappointed about this. Like I said, I think there's a great chance now we can get in that top 4. There's still a great chance that we could actually, finish third. Solskjaer was recently talking about the importance of Champions League qualification for next season. Because we need qualification for the Champions League. Obviously, to help us have more of a competitive summer transfer market. And plus, to, will generate money if we do this. Solskjaer, did say, prior to the game against Villa that we've got to win all our remaining games to finish in the top 4. As it stands now, we've only got 4 games remaining. We've got Southampton up next. Then I think it's Crystal Palace. Then it's West Ham. And then it's Leicester. In reality, we should win all our 4 remaining games. But Solskjaer, did say, don't forget, we haven't got an easy running because, there's still teams that we've got points to prove against that we struggled against earlier on in the season, don't forget. But yeah, Solskjaer, did demand maximum points. Also, too, we've got a chance of winning 2 trophies this season. That's the FA Cup and the Europa League. We are into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We have got Chelsea, in the semi-finals. That's on, I think, the 19th of July. And, we're more or less into our last day of the Europa League because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. But yeah, I think we're going to win at least 1 trophy. But if we could do that, it would be a fantastic achievement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United. But yeah. But a lot of aspects of our game have really, really improved. As you've noticed now, we're creating more chances. We're being more clinical in front of goal. Where we defensively look better. I think the combinations in the team look much better as well. So, this is very, very good to see. And like I said, I think we're now unbeaten in 17 all competitions. I think we're unbeaten now in our last 10 league games. And this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. Of course, Solskjaer has been at the football club now for 18 months. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 15 months. But I'm very, very convinced that we can get a title under Solskjaer, like I've said before. Very, very convinced we can get a title under him. And if we could do that, it would be our 21st title. Because as it stands at the moment, we've won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier Leagues. So we are still the most successful team in England, but we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. So this has been the 7th season now we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. But next season, I said, didn't I, our expectations will be to challenge for the league. And I think we will challenge for the title next season. I really do believe that this is going to happen. I do believe, that this is going to happen. Solskjaer, don't forget, was saying prior to the Villa game, he warned our players that we've got to be aware of Jack Grealish, because he's one of Aston Villa's standout players. Of course, Jack Grealish is one of our priority targets. I think Jack Grealish is valued at around £50 million. He's valued at around £50 million. Don't forget, Jack Grealish's agent did still say that Grealish could still leave Aston Villa because he knows that playing in the Champions League for his client would be beneficial. And especially if Villa get relegated, that will want Jack Grealish to leave Aston Villa more. It says the other week that Manchester City are now in for Jack Grealish. Villa did say a while back, that they would want around £80 million for Jack Grealish. Of course, he's been at Aston Villa for several years. Well, in fact, up until this point, Jack Grealish has spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. And he's still got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. But I heard from reports yesterday saying if Paul Pogba is to sign a new contract, then, Jack Grealish to Manchester United is off. So there you go. Like I said, Villa had a few injuries. Didn't they have Tom Eaton out? They also had Wesley out, and they also had Matthew Targett out. Our only absentees, don't forget, are Phil Jones and Alex Tuanzebe. But apart from that, we have got a fully fit squad. So, that's very, very good. But, I think Solskjaer now's got it right. And, we are now heading in the right direction under him. His decision-making now is really, really improved. Solskjaer now seems to have a plan A, seems to have a plan B. Totally contrast to earlier on in the season, because earlier on in the season didn't really have a plan A or plan B. Now, of course, Solskjaer knows his best 11 because, like I mentioned, he's gone with the same lineup in the last 4 games now. I think he also knows his best formation yet again. Solskjaer went with a 4-2-3-1 formation. But he's made a lot of rotation throughout the course of this season as Solskjaer. But the main explanation why he's made a lot of rotation is, reflecting on the amount of injuries, that we have had. That we have had and that. By the way, I was delighted that Nemanja Matic had signed his 3-year contract on Monday. That had been confirmed. So that keeps him at the football club until 2023, Nemanja Matic. It wasn't so long ago we extended 12 months on his contract. But he's been given this new 3-year contract, reflecting on his good run of performances, because since the resumption of the season, Nemanja Matic has been playing more. Before lockdown, McTominay was getting a lot of game time in there. But, this is now Matic's 3rd season at Man United. I think, he's now made around 115 appearances for the club. We got him from Chelsea back in 2017 for around £40 million, Nemanja Matic. So I was delighted, that he did sign a new contract. I was very, very delighted. By the way, now, I think we have registered 12 points. 12 points from a possible 14 since the resumption of the season. But yeah, so in the summer transfer window, we've got to get the right calibre players to the football club. Don't forget, Solskjaer recently has told Ed Woodward the 3 areas where he wants to strengthen up. And Solskjaer said he wants to recommend a striker in. He also wants to recommend a right winger in. and he's also looking to bring a centre half in as well. But I think he wants to bring a striker and a right winger in before he considers recommending a centre half into the football club, because don't forget, we have got around 7 centre halves. Now, I'm unsure what our transfer budget is going to be for the summer transfer window. I'm very, very unsure what our transfer budget's going to be. I think us and other clubs are going to make a decision on their transfer budgets once a decision has been made on, fans returning to grounds. But Solskjaer has revealed his transfer plans recently, and he said he does not expect a lot of surgery in the squad for the summer transfer window. But I think, we'll be looking to make around 2 or 3 signings. Like I said, we've done good recruitment so far under Solskjaer. He's recommended 5 players into the football club and spent just over £200 million. Last summer recommended Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. So recruitment's definitely improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the summer transfer window will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager, and his 2nd summer transfer window, because he's already overseen 1 summer transfer window. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward, and he's also got the backing of the Glazers. Don't forget, Solskjaer will avoid buying any rotten apples in the summer transfer window, because he'd warned our players quite a few weeks ago that he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. And according to Solskjaer now, we haven't, got any bad apples in the squad. But yeah, and like I said earlier on in the season, it was looking likely, Solskjaer was going to be sacked by Manchester United, because earlier on in the season, the results were really, really bad. Our football was not expansive whatsoever. And as well, earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And at that point, there was talks of Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri also coming into the football club. But I've already gone through with you, why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't get sacked from Manchester United, because we are now in a good vein of form. Definitely the signing of Bruno Fernandes saved his job. I think with Solskjaer being a club legend, that could also play a part in it, because Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance, But yeah, and Solskjaer did challenge us to go unbeaten for the remainder of the season. I think we are going to go unbeaten now for the remainder of the season. The real test for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is next season, because like I mentioned next season he'll have bigger expectations to exceed. He really, really will have bigger expectations to exceed. But I did say Solskjaer definitely deserves at least another season, even if we weren't to get qualification for the Champions League. But I think we're going to get qualification for the Champions League anyway, because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. I've also been impressed with how we've done against the big 6 sides this season, like I mentioned on a lot of my videos, because we've taken 18 points against the big 6 sides this season. Solskjaer's, beaten Chelsea 3 times this season. Obviously, Solskjaer became the first manager in history, to beat Pep Guardiola 3 times in one season. So we've beaten City 3 times this season out of the 4 times we played. Then we drew with Liverpool earlier on in the season. He's beaten Tottenham twice as a manager. We're beating Leicester once earlier on this season. So we have done very, very well against the top 6 sides. We've done very, very well. I've got to say as well, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well, because the young players have been given their opportunities. Solskjaer did confirm, though, when he got appointed in as Manchester United manager, that everybody would get their chance to express themselves, including the young players. And to be fair, Solskjaer has done this. But like I said, there's big decisions to be made in the summer transfer window, of what players Solskjaer is going to recommend in and what players he's going to get rid of. I think we are going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. We're going to get rid of at least 5 players. We're looking at, obviously, get rid of Phil Jones, looking to get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. We're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira. Also looking to get rid of Sanchez permanently. So there is still deadwood at the football club. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Man United. I think over 20 players have left the club since Solskjaer came in. Since, Solskjaer came in and that. But yeah, so big decisions need to be made in the summer transfer window. They really, really do. You already know the news, don't you, regarding Jadon Sancho, like I updated you yesterday. Reportedly, we need to sell, or we're looking to sell 6 players to fund the move for Jadon Sancho. I think Borussia Dortmund have come to accept the fact that Sancho wants to leave, so now they're looking for replacements for him. I don't think the German transfer window opens until October. Dortmund have already set the deadline for Sancho. For Sancho. We've got to sign Sancho by the 10th of August, reportedly, or the deal is off. And it's recently said we've now got the funds for Sancho. Reportedly, it says don't forget that we're only willing to pay £50 million for the player, and Dortmund have said several times that they want over £100 million for Sancho, but we've said we are not willing to smash our transfer record for the player. So you already know the news regarding Sancho. You know the news on Grealish. You already know the news on Nathan Ake as well from Bournemouth, don't you? There were stories coming out after our 5-2 win against Bournemouth saying that Solskjaer had spoken with Nathan Ake, and he allegedly said to Nathan Ake that we need a left-footed centre-half, but actually Solskjaer had laughed these suggestions off, didn't he? Regarding Nathan Ake. But earlier on in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career, he worked out his transfer strategy and he said he wants to recruit young British talents to Man United because 3 of the 5 players he's brought in so far, of course, are British. So let's just, put that into the equation. And Solskjaer, I think, has just got under 2 years left on his Manchester United contract because when he got the job in March permanently last year, he signed a 3-year contract at the football club. We'll give Solskjaer the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But yeah, like I said to you, we have had a lot of problems at the football club for the last 7 years. We've had cultural problems. We've also had a lot of problems with the club's board. There's been a lot of problems with Ed Woodward. There's also been a lot of problems with the Glazers and that. And, there's been a hell of a lot of problems at the football club. But I think now what I've seen recently, we are starting to resolve these problems. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. The Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. But I think one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent for the last 7 years is reflecting on the mistakes we have made. I will admit in recent years we've overpaid for players. Recruitment policy's been poor for several years and that. Because, in the last 7 years, let's put into the equation, we've spent nearly £1 billion on players. So we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. I don't think we'll ever get back to as we was under Ferguson. Probably not. I'm seeing glimpses of the Alex Ferguson days, like I said. I don't think anyone will do what Ferguson did at Man United, so no one will replicate his legacy and no one will last as long as he did. But I still think we can get back being competitive under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Solskjaer's got that managerial experience now. Well, he's gained it, reflecting on how long he's been with us. He's learned quite a few things. Manchester United is the 3rd club in his managerial career and all of that. So Southampton up next. I think it's on the 13th is Southampton. Preview will be coming up for that. Should be tomorrow for the Southampton game. It is at Old Trafford, by the way, so that should be another win for us. We've got points to prove against Southampton because we drew them early on the season 1-1. Then Palace, got points to prove against them because we lost to them early on the season 2-1. And West Ham, we've got points to prove against them because we've lost away at West Ham for the last 2 seasons. But yeah, I think, we definitely look a much better team now. It's just amazing how one player can make a difference in a team. It really, really is amazing. But I'm starting to think now Solskjaer is the right manager for Manchester United, like I said. We've sacked 3 managers already. You know, Moyes got sacked. He was never the right man. Van Gaal got sacked. Started off well, but in the end, was never the right man. Louis Van Gaal, Jose Mourinho. You can say he enjoyed an okay first season because he won 2 trophies, but after that, you know, weren't any good for the football club. By the way, your player ratings is coming up after this video. I want to give you my player ratings like I always do. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.